Rashad, why you
Anyway,
didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother. Trump, Lee,
What's up, Rashad?
yeah.
What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
Mangione. This is what they saying. They saying it was a couple other things. They said he said he was a homeless man. They said he wasn't read his rights. They said they only thought it was him because of his eyebrows. I want enough. This is from the Business Insider. Luigi Mangione. That is not his name. It's Mangione, right? Luigi Mangione. Anyways, claimed he was a homeless man named Mark in a surreal newly created body cam footage after his arrest. Here we go. There's fibbing on both sides. The suspect says that he's a homeless guy named Mark. The cops say it's just an ID check. And through it all, surreally, Christmas carols play on the restaurant sound system, with one cop whistling along to keep things calm as they tried to verify his identity. Dramatic police body cam footage of Luigi Mangione screened for the first time on Tuesday in a New York City courtroom. It shows the 28-year-old's December arrest that has never been seen before. Arrested in Pennsylvania weapons and identification forgery charges, he would soon have to turn over to the New York authorities as a suspect of the unaliving of a United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. Stand up for us. Put your hands on top of your head. Altoona police officer Joseph Detweiler can be heard telling Mangione twice in the video, which is not being released to the public and could only be seen in court. You seem nervous right now, the officer says next, as Mangione stands up and is patted down at 9:50 on a Monday morning, 5 days after Thompson's unaliving in Midtown Manhattan sidewalk. When the officer says, "Why are you nervous?" Mangione, his hands on top of his head, gives no answers. Sit down, the officer tells him. Yeah, here we go. Oh, wow. This is him sitting down. Oh, this is him in the McDonald's. Wow. The video played from most of Tuesday morning and well into the afternoon. The second day of the evidence suppression hearing in the state court in Manhattan. It was narrated from the witness stand by Detweiler with his partner. Was the first officer on the scene. As they rolled up to the McDonald's in a patrol car, Detweiler was thinking the job will be a waste of time. He testified, "I did not believe that it was going to be the person that they said it was," Detweiler said on Tuesday during the questioning by the lead state prosecutor, Assistant District Attorney Joel Seidman said. The 911 call had come from a very skeptical restaurant manager. She called the police reluctantly, according to Monday's testimony, after the customers insisted that the guy sitting in the back of the men's room, his face obscured by a hat and medical mask, looked like the CEO. Oh, wow. In the news. The dispatcher was skeptical too. Listened to call as a priority low. And on the way to the McDonald's, Detweiler saw a text from his supervisor, Lieutenant Tom Hanley. "If you get the New York City guy, I'll buy you a hoagie." Wow. Detweiler kept the patrol car sirens silent as he and his partner. So someone at McDonald's snitched. Wow, McDonald's is the ops to anything that's fighting for the health and the health care of Americans. Detweiler controls car sirens silent as he and his partner, patrolman Tyler Fry, rolled into the parking lot. Once inside, the two approached Mangione's table, interrupting a meal of breakfast sandwich and a hash brown. They knew that this was the guy that the manager had been called about. Detweiler testified there was only one person in the restaurant while wearing a mask. "Yeah, we don't wear a mask." And Altoona, Detweiler explained in his testimony, "We have antibodies." Wow. Can you pull your mask down? A video showed Detweiler asking while Mangione watched from the defense table, dressed in a dark suit and an open-necked off-white dress shirt. Then the footage played in court showed the moment that Mangione complied, showing his full face, and everything changed. As Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell Rock played in the McDonald's speakers, the 5-day manhunt had captivated the country, involving hundreds of law enforcement personnel in New York City and beyond had ended. "Quote unquote, I knew it was him immediately." Dun, 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 Detweiler testified. It didn't help that as soon as he asked, "Were you up in New York recently?" Mangione appeared, "quote unquote, nervous." As the officer described it on the stand, "quote unquote, I saw his fingers shaking a little bit," he testified. Defense lawyers are challenging the evidence and the statements that the police took from Mangione in a 30-minute period when he was questioned and arrested in that McDonald's. By the time Mangione was cuffed and led inside, with Holly Jolly Christmas playing at the restaurant sound system, a dozen cops had gathered around the restaurant. They included the lieutenant who promised Detweiler a hoagie. "I'm 100% sure that's him," Detweiler testified while he was arriving. Lieutenant, he was surprised, Detweiler testified to his boss. Prosecutors are trying to show that stopping, questioning, and searching Mangione and his belongings was proper, given the officer's knowledge of the news media of the Thompson suspect's appearance and dangerousness. Prosecutors say the backpack held incriminating writings and they hope to use in trial against him. Defense lawyers led by Karen Friedman and Ingefilo say police have no right to look inside Mangione's backpack minutes after leaving the restaurant and hours before getting the search warrant. During her cross-examination, Friedman and Filio repeatedly pointed at Detweiler to the portions of the body cam video showing that the police allowed customers to walk past them to use the men's and women's restrooms, apparently unconcerned about any danger from the bag. Wow. Defense lawyers were also arguing that Mangione was improperly questioned before he was read his Miranda rights. They want the judge to rule that any statements he made and anything in the backpack can't be used against him in trial. Come on. And Tuesday, Detweiler described asking limited questions, focus on Mangione's identification and potential intimate dangerousness, not the facts of the case itself. Mark Mangione told police at first when asked his first name, according to the video. Homeless, he said when asked about his address. Did you ever mention the in New York City? Simon said. No, Detweiler answered. Mangione's hearing was already featured testimony by 5 law enforcement officers and civilian witnesses involved in the manhunt and the Pennsylvania arrest. It was scheduled to continue on Thursday and Friday and possibly until next week. New York Supreme Court Justice Gregory Caro has not said when he will decide if any of the evidence will be barred from an eventual trial. Judges have yet to set trial dates for Mangione's federal and state unaliving trials. This state story has been updated to include details of the afternoon testimony. So there you have it. He said he was old. He said he was the weirdly chill 911 call that ended Luigi. That's crazy. I want to see that. I don't know. I might as well. We already here. Labs, apologies, and the bagel order. Hold on. The weirdly chill 911 call that ended Luigi Mangione's freedom. Here we go. The 911 call almost didn't happen. A McDonald's manager in Altoona, Pennsylvania, was so skeptical that the United Healthcare CEO suspect was sitting in the back of a restaurant that it almost didn't make the call that put Luigi Mangione in jail. It was revealed in a court hearing on Manhattan on Monday. After all, the man sitting near the restrooms had his face covered with a mask and a hat. The unnamed manager called the 911 operator in the audio of the fateful call played in the public for the first time. I have a customer here that some of the customers were suspicious of. He looked like the CEO guy from New York. She told the dispatcher at the beginning of the call, laughing with apparent embarrassment. I'm like, I don't know what to do here, guys. She told the dispatcher, describing what she told the customers. I tried to call. Oh, so the customers, the people was in McDonald's. Oh man, McDonald's a bunch of snitches. I tried to call the non-emergency number, but it just kept ringing. The manager also told the dispatcher her voice was apologetic. Even the dispatch records showed that they had priority low in the initial entry. Mangione appeared in court wearing a gray suit, red and white checkered dress shirt, and brown dress shoes with a black dress socks. He's in court for the first day of what is shaping up to be a week of evidence suppressing hearings. The brief 911 call ended with a massive nationwide 5-day manhunt for the unaliver of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. It is remarkable that a matter of fact voices of the both caller and the dispatcher for the occasional misunderstanding and interruption. This the one that they think got the police officer, the dispatcher asked, interrupting the manager's description of a man in a black jacket and blue medical mask sitting in the back of the restaurant. No, the manager clarifies, the CEO. Wow. At one point, the 911 call is interrupted, on which was not clear, by a woman's voice shouting out a breakfast order. We need more bagels, the voice yells. One of them, no butter. Defense lawyers had asked for the hearings in order to challenge the methods used by the Altoona police to seize evidence and statements when they arrested Mangione at the McDonald's in December. Also played in court on Monday was the restaurant surveillance footage showing that Mangione, 28, being questioned and searched for 30 minutes before he was taken into custody as the suspect of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Monday's testimony also included a name drop of a financier and a SO, Jeffrey Epstein, who unalives himself in a federal jail in Manhattan while awaiting a trial on the trafficking indictment. I was told by the SCI Huntington did not want an Epstein-style situation. A correction officer at the Pennsylvania facility testified, examining why Mangione is being kept in 24-hour observation unit after his arrest after being transferred to New York City. Mangione's black backpack is the primary focus of the hearing. The defense has asked the judge to find that the police erred in not wanting a search warrant before seizing and examining the backpack, written and contained a part metal, part 3D printed 9mm. Excuse me. The defense hopes the judge will bar prosecutors from using this content, which the prosecutors say include the unaliving weapon and incriminating manifesto at the child. The unregistered ghost was a ballistic match, prosecutors say, to the shell casings left on the sidewalk when the CEO was hit outside of a Midtown hotel. Thompson was walking into the hotel after a sunrise on December 4th with plans to address the United Healthcare investor meeting. New York Supreme Court Justice Gregory Caro has not said he will decide whether any evidence will be barred in the eventual trial. No trial date has been set for either Mangione's federal or state unaliving prosecution. So there you have it. There you have it. A homeless guy named Mark and a lady at McDonald's, a manager who didn't even know what was really going on. So there you have that. Luigi. Next. Skill issue. I've seen.
Rashad, why you
anyways.
didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
Trump lit.
What's up, Rashad?
Yeah.
What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.